Hey, you are living out loud life with Crystal Ann. Thanks for joining us today. We're talking about micro commitments. What in the world is a micro commitment? Well, let's break the word apart. Micro, little, mini commitment. Something we're going to stick to. We're going to decide on purpose to do it. So putting all that together, we're going to have a little something that we decide we're going to stick to, we're going to work on. I love micro commitments. I used to be one of those people that did so much future tripping that we had to make a commitment until the end of time. I have had a history of broken marriages. Okay, those are supposed to be forever. You know what I learned? That it is really hard to make a forever commitment. So if I am going to make a forever a commitment to something else, and I have evidence in the past that that does not always work out for me, do you think I'm going to trust it? No, I'm not. So when I would make other decisions like drinking, like I'm never, ever, ever going to drink again. I'm going to get up and I'm going to pledge that I am going to never drink again. So how do I know that's true? Like when I die, when I go into the arms of Jesus, I can ask him, hey, did I make it? Was I successful? Oh, and I've made that commitment before. And guess what I did? I didn't do it. I didn't make it to forever. So guess what happened next? I was shamed beyond belief. I couldn't even go tell anybody because I made a forever, ever, ever commitment, not taking into account something that would happen. So guess what I did even more? I distrust myself even more. So now I'm making these really long-term things and then like I'm failing at them. And so now I don't believe in myself. So guess what? I'm like, forget it. I'm never doing it again. Until I learned about micro commitments. These little somethings that we can decide to do are awesome. They are the best thing when you're learning to gain or you need to regain some trust into yourself, that you need some confidence in like, hey, I can do this. I can be successful. Like this is the best thing to use. So like, let's go back to the drinking example. I will never, ever say, I will never drink again. Look at that. Did I just make a long-term for everything again? I choose to not say I'll never drink again. What I choose to say is in my small itty bitty commitment today, I choose to be happily alcohol free today. You know what's really cool? I'm going to see at the end of the day if I was successful. If I have a day of success, I'm going to get some confidence back in myself that says, hey, girl, you a truth teller and you just proved it. So little things like that I started doing in my mindset in these micro commitments, and they are really wonderful. I had one of the best examples explained to me when I was in this Naked Mind Institute. It was about a bullseye. And I love sharing this example. You know, like when you go shoot darts, like you get back and you're sitting up and you're ready and you're like, you're going to throw it at them. And like, you're going to hit this like really itty bitty mark and you're going to hope that you hit it. And maybe you've never even thrown a dart before. And then you feel like you suck and you're like, I'm never doing that again. Yeah, that's the opposite of a micro commitment. A micro commitment, when using this illustration, would be like having that bullseye right there, or not the bullseye, but you know, the thingy, the hujima flicker, the board that has all the numbers, and having it pretty close to you. And instead of backing up so far away, we stand right in front of it and we go, you know what? Right here, I can do that. I can do that. And then the more I do that, I'm like, man, I'm really good at this. Look at this. I'm hitting this target every time. So then I can choose to maybe back up and go, let's see if I can do it again. And I practice and I practice and I practice until eventually I get that far back. Micro commitments are a wonderful way to reestablish trust in yourself, to gain that evidence that you need again, to see how wonderfully awesome that you are, that you can do hard things, that you choose to do hard things. And as you look at them, you can see that they're done. I love micro commitments. I think that you will too. Consider trying it today. Consider something that you want to take a look at and say, you know, maybe just for this 24 hours, I can commit to this. I can do this. And then at the end of those 24 hours, see where you stand. Was it hard? Was it not? Was it easy? What kind of evidence do you have about yourself? What kind of clarity did you get in seeing what you could do in action? And then evaluate what your next step is going to be. Make another micro commitment. You know, those micro commitments, they add on to one another. It's like lengthening. So instead of, like I originally said, I'm never, ever going to drink forever. Well, every day for me is a day one, because I know the importance of one day. So I take my micro commitments of day one, day one, day one, day one, and I add them all up to guess what? Then they add up. And eventually, maybe they'll add up to forever. I don't know. I know what they add up to today. It's another way to keep yourself very mindful in the present of today. You mindfully stay in that moment of now, focusing either on the past of what you did or didn't do, and not future tripping so far that you can't even begin to comprehend what you're going to do next. Anyway, try it. If you have any questions, I want you to reach out to me and let me know what you think. If you want to do it together and write it all out or see what maybe how we can tweak it together, feel free to do it. As always, putting stuff in the comments right here available to you. All right. Thank you again for living out loud with Crystal Ann. I appreciate you. I love you. And I want you to have the most happy, wonderful day. Be you and him.